Hi beady besties, I'm back. So today we have 5 anklets and 2 bracelets. So a bracelet and anklet bash, and they're all Softflex related. So bit of fun for you. They're from old Softflex kits that I have, because I had a lot of beads left. So how are you all? I hope you're doing well. I had a bit of a rough start to the day. My POTS was playing up. So, of course, I was sick and I passed out. Not really quite helpful. Knocked my head, my back and my hips about a bit. But I hope you're all doing well. I wanted to get a video out to you all. So, let's see what inspiration I've got for you today, shall we? So let's get a card out of this ever dwindling pack of cards. So, and let's see what it says. It says, the fears we don't face become our limits. And yes, they do. And I've got a severe limit at the moment, and that's doing the live for every single one of you. So I've got to try and get over that. And what I might do is, hopefully the next bargain bead box we get, I'll do the unboxing as a video and do the making as a live. Well, that's what I'm going to try and do. Don't know how successful I'll be. I'll do the unboxing, then not actually make with it, or make with it and then try and do another make after as a live. So let's see how we get on from there, shall we? So what are your fears that aren't becoming limits, and what are your fears that are becoming limits? I would love to know. Drop it in the comments. So what we've got today. So the Softflex beading wires we are going to use. We are using fluorite colour 0.019 medium 49 strand. We're using that for one of them. Right, we are using fluorite colour 0.019 medium 49 strand for another. We are going to be using dark blue lapis 0.019 medium 49 strand for another. We're using bone colour 0.019 medium 49 strand for another. Right, for the next one, we are using garnet colour 0.019 medium 49 strand for another. Then for another one, we're using purple amethyst 0.019 medium 49 strand. And then for the last one, we're going to be using dark blue lapis again, 0.019 medium 49 strands. So let me get set up and I'll be back. So let me tell you the tools that I'm going to be using for every single bracelet and anklet. And the first one we're going to be doing is actually an anklet. So the tools we're going to be using for every single thing we're making today, we're going to be using a pair of crimping pliers. Alright, you can use either magical crimping pliers, Ontario crimping pliers, or these type of crimping pliers. We're going to be using flush cutters. I am going to zoom in, I promise. Alright, for the Rolo chain that I'm using, I'm going to be using memory wire cutters because it's still memory wire. I'm going to be using round nose pliers, and I use 3 sets of pliers, but you only technically need 2 pliers. So you've got chain nose pliers and you've got bent chain nose pliers. Okay, so let's put on our crimp tube. Right, we're going to put our clasp straight on. So for once I'm actually wiring the clasp on instead of using a jump ring. Right, so let's put our clasp on. You don't want to make your loop too tight because you want a bit of movement. Let me zoom you in. Hold on to your trousers, buckle up your belts. There we go, sorted. So, there we go. Alright, make sure your wires ain't crossed. Alright, and put it in your pliers. Make sure you've got no crimp tube either side. Alright, crimp down to 90 degrees. Alright, and crimp again. If my crimping pliers will behave and the crimp tube will behave, which it's not doing. There we go, and crimp again. Right, sorry about that. Right, give it a tug, make sure it's secure. I'm going to have to lift you up a little because I keep hitting you on my camera. I keep hitting the camera. There we go. Right, get your cutters. Right, push up against the crimp tube and cut. Right, if you've got a long bit of wire, make sure you keep the wire. Right. Now let's move everything off the mat for now. Right, so we've got our crimp and our clasp. So now we're just going to bead. Right, so first of all, we've got a round bead. Then we've got this gorgeous decorative bead. Isn't it beautiful? Then we've got this like little blue metallic bead that is a fancy rondelle. Another one of those decorative beads. Right, a sort of opal white rondelle. Right, then we've got a blue chunkier rondelle. It's about an 8mm. Then we've got it looks like a half plated fancy rondelle. Then we have 2 cubes in a light blue. Now another one of those half plated fancy rondelles. Another one of those chunkier 8mm rondelles that's faceted. Another one of those white rondelles. Now that is now then next we have this Barrow-esque bead with these lovely sort of fishbone patterns on it. Now that is the centre of the bracelets, right? And if you give me a sec, I'm going to do the other half off camera and I will be back. I said bracelet and it's actually an anklet. So here we go. We've got all the anklets. We're going to go and do 2 inches of chain. So let's cut the 2 inches of chain. So let me find the end of this chain when I can. So give me a second. So I found the end of the chain, right, and we're going to cut 2 inches of this. So I'm just going to line it up with the end and go to the 2-inch mark. Now measure that with my fingers and just get my cutters, just go into it and just give it a cut. Simple as that, right? Nice and simple. Right, now the reason I've cut 2 inches of chain, because this is like 7.5 inches, right? And that's part of the reason I made it an anklet rather than a bracelet. Right, so I've just cut that off the spool. Right, I'm going to feed on a crimp tube. Then I'm going to feed on the chain. So put the crimp tube on. And then feed the chain through. Now this is very small chain. So it takes me a minute to feed it on. There we go. Then we're just going to feed it back through the crimp tube and pull it down while keeping our anklet curved round. We don't want our loop too small, but we don't want it too big either. Right, now making sure our wires are not crossed, we're going to crimp. So like before, in the centre notch, making sure we've got none on either side, crimp down, then turn 90 degrees, keeping our chain out the way, putting it in the front notch, if I can get it. I might have to do it off camera, so give me a second. I just couldn't see that one under the camera today. So now, push up and give it a cut. With a length like that, keep it. It's always good for when you've got to do a short bit of cutting, like crimping, like on a one strand. Right. Now you need your pliers, you need your single bead and your head pin. Right. Now we're gonna, and you also need your round nose pliers. Okay, we're going to do a simple loop. So bend it over your bead, right? Cut off so it's 1/4 inch. Put that in my wire bag, and then roll back. Let's see if I can actually do a simple loop. Make sure there's no wire on the end showing from your no, I cannot do a simple loop. So let's do a wire wrap loop then. You know I can't do simple loops. It just seems to be a mass issue with me about simple loops these days. Don't know why I can't do them. Let's try doing it the other way. Let's see if I can do a simple loop the other way. That I seem to be doing it lately. Right. So let's try a simple loop this way. So up, over, turn and under. Right, straighten that up. And then give it a cut. Right, just really straighten that up. It's somewhat of a simple loop. I do question my ability to do simple loops these days. Right, so now we're gonna leave that for the moment. We're going to get our jump rings. Oh, if I can. Right, and we're going to attach everything to our chain. Right, so we've got a jump ring for our clasp, right, and we've got another jump ring as well. Right, so let's find the opening. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter here now a graphic for how to open and close jump rings, because a lot of people do not know how to open a jump ring properly and how to close it properly. I know a lot of you do, but for beginners that are coming in to watch this, I'd like to show how to do it properly. So here's the graphic now. I know you've just seen how to open and close jump rings, but I will show you how to do them properly. Right, so when you open and close a jump ring, get as much of the much you applies on them as possible. Turn them towards you or away from you. Then add your jump rings on through your thing. And if you need to add another jump ring on, add it on. Alright, and then close it by closing it either away from you if you've opened it towards you, or add it or towards you if you've opened it away from you. Okay, then they should close properly. Right, it's a fallacy that jump rings always click when you close them. Right, so don't believe that. Right, they won't always click. So now we're going to add on a bead. Right, at angle, when I can grab hold of the jump ring properly, because I've just put that on the wrong side, because we need this jump ring to be at the top. So always make sure you close your jump rings at the top, then add on this jump ring. Then add on your bead, then add on your star, and then close your jump ring. And you might have to turn your pliers over to do that, because the amount that's on the jump ring, and just give it a squish. So let me show you this piece. Let me close it. Alright, so let me zoom out a bit. Alright, and this is your anklet. Beautiful little blue and gunmetal anklet. So let me set up for the next piece and I'll be back. Alright, these next two pieces are going to be done with gold findings, but For the second piece, you're going to have a silver star on it. So, for this first one, we're going to have purple amethyst colour Softflex. So, let's put a crimp tube on and our clasp. So, and we're going to have a blue cube dangle on this one. So, give me a sec. Let me get into my crimp tubes, if I can. So, clasp. So, crimp tube on. Then you clasp. Again, feed back through your crimp tube. And make sure your wires aren't crossed. Also, again, make sure your loop isn't too big. Right. So your loop isn't too big or too small. Put it in your middle notch and crimp down. Put your front notch after turning 90 degrees and crimp again. Right, give it a tug, make sure it's secure, and then cut off your short wire, pushing up against the crimp tube and pulling down with your wires and cut. For a length that long, keep it. It's always good for when you want to do single wires. Right, so first off, we have this. Let me pull you in. First off, you had this cream coloured oval, like a light AB finished on it. Then we have this blue cube. Then this gold filigree ball. Then we have like a white white formal round and a blue Heishi disc. Then we have two 2mm small beads. Then we've got a topaz coloured bead. And then we've got another one of those filigree balls. And coming up next, we have a cube, a pinky coloured bead, faceted, a Heishi bead, and a dark blue fancy rondelle. Then two more of those 2mm beads. Right. Then we have another one of those pink beads and the Heishi, a blue Heishi. Then we have our centre, right? Our centre 3 beads. We have a gold Heishi, right? We have a blue rondelle that's faceted and a gold Heishi. So this is what our bracelet looks like, our anklet looks like, sorry, to the centre. Right, so I'm going to go and do the other half of the bracelet, then, and the anklet, sorry, then I'll be back. So this is what the anklet looks like in full. Right, so now we're going to go and cut 2 inches of chain to attach to the anklets. Right. And for this, we're using 7.6 by 2.6 millimeter brass oval jewellery chain, which is lead-free and cadmium-free. Right. Yes, it is a bargain bead box chain. So, I might actually have a length here that's around 2 inches. It's probably slightly more than 2 inches, but it'll probably do the next 2 bracelets. No, well, the next two anklets, sorry. So I'll cut them both at the same time. Oh, sorry, my apologies. So let's cut this. So we're going to cut that link there. So we've just cut that in half. Right, and we're going to do the next one while we're at it, because we need chain for the next one. No, we don't need chain for the next one, because the next one's actually a bracelet. But I might be able to use it as an extender chain. Don't know, let me check the clasp, see if the clasp will attach to this. No, it won't. So no extender chain for that. Have I got... Yes, I have got stuff I can use as extender chain. So, because I do need to put extender chain on the bracelets. So I've got like a chunky gold chain, which I use as an extender chain, but we'll get that out when we come to do the bracelets. So... No, we do actually need chain. I do apologise. I'm looking at the wrong item. I'm looking at the copper bracelet that we're doing there. So let's sort out this extent. Let's sort out this chain while we're here. I'm losing the plot. I've got so many things on the go, I'm losing the plots. So it's that one I need to cut. Put those two links away, because you never know when you might need them. You might need them for a pair of earrings. Because two links can do a lot, you know. So, now, we've got our length of chain. So let's cut a length off here. Right. And get a crimp tube out. And we're going to attach this directly to the chain. So we're going to put our crimp tube on. Get our chain. And we're going to link this directly through the chain. Right, get our crimp tube, go back through our crimp tube and pull down. Okay, try not to make our loop too big or too small. Curl our anklet up so we don't end up with a crunchy crimp. There we go. So we've got enough space. Make sure our wire's not crossed. Put it in the middle notch. Make sure none of our crimp tube is on either side. Crimp down to 90 degrees. Put it in the front notch and crimp down. If it will let me. There we go. Give it a good tug. And then cut the wire off. Alright, and for a length like that, keep it. Alright. So now, we're going to need our pliers to wire wrap. So again, we're going to do a simple loop. When I find the seed bead. So what I've got is this spacer. So I'm going to put that on the bottom. Then I'm going to put the bead on. Right? So there you go. It just sits on it. Right? So now I'm going to bend this over my bead. Right, you can do this with your hand. Just push it down. right? Then get your round nose pliers. And as you know, I do it like I'm wrapping a wire wrap loop. Right, I'm going to give it a cut. And straighten up my loop. As I said, not the best wire wrap loop not the best simple loop in the world, but it works. Look, see, it works. Right. Now we're going to attach these. Right. So I'm going to need a jump ring. Again, I'm going to enter the graphic on how to open jump rings. I'm going to enter that now. As you just seen on how to open jump rings. Right, I'm going to enter that several times on how to open jump rings, so you always remember how to open them. Right, that's going to be through this whole thing on how to open jump rings. Right, it's probably going to drive you nuts. Right, but at least you know how to do it. Right. So all I've done is I've just added one sort of 5mm, added the dangle, and then added the 6mm. Right, and then I've closed my my jump ring. Now I can close the clasp. And show you the bracelet. If you give me a sec, I will zoom out and show you this anklet. Not bracelet, anklet cal. I've got to sing about bracelets today, but there's our anklet. What do you think? How beautiful it is, and so colourful. So colourful. So let me go and set up for the next one, and I'll be right back. Next, we're using garnet coloured Softflex, right? And look what a beautiful colour it is. Absolutely gorgeous, this garnet. So we're putting on the crimp tube as normal. Then putting on the clasp. Right, back through the crimp tube as always. Right, not too big a loop. Right, make sure our wires aren't crossed. And crimp. Let me zoom back in. There we go. And crimp. Crimp down to 90 degrees in the front notch and crimp. Give it a good tug. And then cut off the short wire. So again, side up. Pull down, push up against the crimp and cut. Right, now that one didn't cut all that well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off the little nub. Just go in and give it a nip. Right. So now we've got 2 chunky 8 or 10mm rondelles that are faceted. We've got a oval that's cream, and this is an asymmetrical bracelet. We've got 2 sort of coral colour faceted rounds. We've got what we call a tin foil sort of what you call them, oh, I can't think of the name, but they've got like these crystals in them. So they're really pretty, clear crystals. Right, we've got a gold metal Heishi disc. We've got a like opalite colour rondelle. Got a Heishi rondelle. Now this is my mismatch bracelet. This is, but I find it really pretty. We've got a topaz coloured rondelle that's faceted. We got another oval. We got 2 more coral beads that are 8mm. We got another one of those tinfoil beads with the crystals in it. We've got another pattern of those smaller beads. Right, the Heishi, the opalite, the Heishi and the topaz colours. Now we've got a nice little pattern of shells here. They're in like a topaz colour. We've got some like cockle shells and ammonite shells, I think they're called. So we've got those 4. And then the last 2 beads on here are these 2 coin beads in a dark topaz colour. So that is our next beautiful, beautiful anklet. As I said, it's an asymmetrical one, but so, so beautiful. So that's what we've got. So let's cut off a length of Softflex and add the chain, shall we? So now we need a crimp tube. If I can get into the crimp tubes. For some reason I cannot get into this bag of gold crimp tubes. I really need to change the bag. Right, so put on the gold crimp tube. Right, attach the chain. And put back through the crimp tube. And pull it down. Make sure you don't do your loop too small. Curl it up. Right. And I put that through totally the wrong loop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a little shorter and just cut off that one. Because, well, yeah, cut off that one. Right, one link don't make too much difference. Because no offence, I'm not unstringing it. That went on far too easily. And I knew it had to go on too easily for some reason. So again, put it in the middle notch, because the type of pliers I've got like size 1, size 2, size 3 pliers. Crimp it down, turn it 90 degrees, and crimp it down. Right, give it a good tug. Yeah, that's secure. Then put the cutters in, push it up and cut. And for a length that long, keep it. Right, so now you're going to need your pliers, because again, we're going to do a dangle. Right, so up, over, turn and round. Now that one went really smoothly. I'm so happy about that. And give it a cut. And now I can't cut it. Do you know the downfall of having dry hands? Right? Everything slips in them. And I mean everything. Right, close that loop. And make sure it's closed properly. So give it a move about just to make sure it's closed. And then get your jump rings. And again, yes, I'm going to enter the graphic. Right, so the graphic is being entered now. As you just seen, I've entered the graphic on how to open and close jump rings. Right. I know sometimes it can be frustrating, but it's always good to have a reminder on how to open and close jump rings. Right, I might not enter it the next time I do it. Right, so I think entering it 3 times is more than enough. Right, now add on your other jump ring for your closure. And then close your jump ring. Right. Now you want your jump ring for your dangles. Let's find your opening. Make sure your jump ring for your closure is right at the top. Add on the one for your dangle first, for your bead first, then add on your star and give it a close. And make sure it's closed properly. Right, so now let me show you this one. Right, give me a second, let me zoom you out. So this is this beautiful bracelet. Isn't it gorgeous? I love the bright colours in this. It's absolutely stunning. Right? I just love it. I really do. But all these will be going on my website in the next few weeks. So let me set up for the next anklet and I'll see you in a minute. So next we've got a bracelet, which is going to be in copper, right, and bone coloured Softflex. So let's see what we've got. So let's do the crimping on this one, right. Let's get a crimp tube out, right. There we go, crimp tube. And now the copper crimp tubes from Softflex are a bit thicker than any other crimp tube. So you can generally only fit 2 pieces of wire a bit snugly through the crimp tube. So it's always a bit of a tighter squeeze. So you're not always going to fit like 3 through here. Right, so crimp that, same as before. Don't let your wires cross. Don't make too small a loop. Right, make sure your crimp tube's seated properly. Crimp down, turn 90 degrees, put it in the front notch, and crimp again. Right, and then cut off the smaller wire of the two. Right, so let's see what we've got for this one, shall we? We have a beautiful faceted deep blue oval. We have a yellow 3-flower cup flower with some detail on the inside, which you won't see in this bracelet. You have a faceted light blue rondelle, another one of those cup flowers, 3-flower cup ones. Right, then we've got sort of an opaque, well, translucent yellow flower faceted round. And we have another one of those 3-flower cups, 3-petal cups, sorry. Then we have a ceramic yellow flower. Now these are beautiful. I love these, I do. These are so gorgeous. Then another one of those flower cups, but going in the opposite direction. Right. Then we've got another one of those blue rondelles. Then we've got a tulip yellow flower. And then our centre bead. Now this centre bead is a boho bead, but it's a flat boho bead, and it's the same on both sides. Now this is so beautiful, right? And these are made of polymer clay. These are gorgeous. So that's our centre, right? And I am going to go and do the other side, and then I'll be back. So here we have our bracelet. Right, it is absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? I love this blue and yellow colour palette. Right, absolutely beautiful. Very, very spring, summery, into autumn, just to give you a bit of that still summertime as you go into autumn. Right, so that if you're a little depressed in autumn, it can pick up your mood. Right, so now let's get another crimp tube. Alright, because we're not going to put the chain on yet. Alright. So let's get our crimp tube. So, your crimp tube, fold it back through. And I always like a bit of extra soft flex when I'm doing the ends. Alright, so I can pull like I'm doing here. Right, now curl your beads round so you don't end up with a crunchy crimp. Right, because I've got cream on my hands, this isn't going down so easily. Alright, just push that crimp tube down. Then give me wire a tug. Alright, make sure that's upright. So as you can see, I've curled it into a coil to make sure it's not a crunchy crimp. Then I'm going to give it a crimp, making sure my wires aren't crossed. Making sure that's seated correctly in the pliers. Giving it a crunch. Turning 90 degrees. and giving it another crunch. Giving it a good tug. Right. And if you've got a length like this, save it. Now to cut 2 inches of chain. So let's get our tape measure, because we're going to put an extender chain on this one. So lay this right on the end. Hit this up where we want to cut. And just go on that length that we want to cut. Hold it and cut down. Oh, my apologies. Knocking the camera again, like I've been doing all day. Right. So here we go. We've got our 2 inches of chain. Right, for our extender chain. Right, we've got 2 jump rings. We've got a 5mm and we've got a 6mm. Right, but before we do that, we're going to do our wire wrap. So bend that over. Just up, over, turn and back round. Alright, I'm going to roll that down a bit. Right, straighten it up, open the gate a little so I can cut it, and give it a cut. Then I'm going to use my pliers to close that. Give it a good close. Just give it a bend back a bit. To make it more of a simple loop. And there you go, I've got a nice simple loop. Right, so now we're going to put our chain on. So we're going to use this actually might be more of a 7mm rather than a 6mm. It might actually be a 7mm. So open our 7mm. Right. Get our chain and hook our chain on, and then close our jump ring back up. All right, make sure it's closed tightly. Right, and then using our 5mm, we're going to add our dangle to the end. So same as before. Sorry, through the loop on the end, and add our dangle. And just make sure it's properly closed. So let me show you this. Sorry, my alarm went off on my phone. So this is about a 6.5, this is. So a bit of a smaller size bracelet for those smaller women. Cause like my daughter, she's got a tiny wrist. So this is ideal. So very, very beautiful bracelets. So let me go and set up for the next one. So now for the next one, which is on dark blue lapis wire. Such a gorgeous colour. It sort of shimmers. Right, so let's put the crunch tube on. Right, and oh, if I can get it on. Right, and then our clasp. Right, and this has got dangles on it which are already pre-wrapped. I did all the pre-wrapping on these dangles. So, just to save a bit of time, because it's already a long video. So again, don't make the loop too small or too big. Centre your crimp tube in your pliers, crimp down, turn 90 degrees and crimp again. Right, pull to test it, and then cut your wire, cut off the short wire by pushing up and pulling away. Right, and now let's string. So we've got 5 metal beads. So 5 small round metal beads. Right. We've got, sorry, I didn't bring up the 5th one. Right, then we've got 2 flat ovals. Right, this is an asymmetrical design, this is. Then we've got a faceted puffy oval. Right. Then we've got a square. Right, a flat square. Then we've got our first leaf dangle on a silver wire wrap, and it's textured. It's textured. So these are really cute. Right. Then we've got a bluey green puffy oval. Right, so these are really nice. Then we've got a different kind of leaf bead which is textured. So then we've got another flat square, another leaf bead, then we've got another we've got like a hexagon bead that's faceted. Then we're back to the original leaf bead. Right, and these leaves, they're on different ways. Right, but that's easily changed. Right, I'll change that in a minute off camera because it takes me a minute. Right, then we've got another puffy square. Then we've got another leaf bead. Then we've got another hexagon. Then we've got one of the other leaf beads. And then another square, because this is long because it's an anklet. Then we've got another leaf bead. Then we've got another one of those beautiful hexagons. Another one of those beautiful textured like leaf, I call them leaf coloured leaves, whereas these are more of a like Kelly green leaf. Then we've got another one of those squares. Right, another leaf. So these leaves are like every other drop, like they're right after every bead. Then we got one of those bluey green puffy ovals. Then our last leaf. Then we have a square, and then our last five rounds, last five spaces. So if you give me a minute, I'm going to go and change this one leaf that's the wrong way round, and I'll be back. Thought I'd show you what this looks like in full. Right, isn't it beautiful? All these little dangles are absolutely gorgeous. So let's get crimping, shall we? Now I've got a lot of beading wire left because I just cut it off the spool. Right, but you don't need all that. So I'll use it for like another bracelet or another anklet. So let's get a crimp tube. Right, slide it on. And then just hook it back through. And just pull it down. Right, give it a curl to make sure nothing's crunchy. And then crimp. Make sure your wires aren't crossed. Make sure that's centered in your pliers. And crimp. Then turn 90 degrees. And crimp again. Give it a good tug. Yep, that's done. And cut your wire off, and keep, if you've got a long wire like me, make sure you keep it. Right, now we're going to wire wrap a dangle. Right, so same as always. Up, over, turn, under, and then roll it down. Right, and straighten that up. Open the gate a bit so I don't cut my other wire. Give it a bit of a cut. And then just wiggle it closed. And make sure it's properly closed. There we go. Right, so now then these are jump rings. So I've got a 7mm and I've got a 5mm. Right. So I'm going to take my 5mm. Open it up. So as much your pliers on your jump ring as possible. Open it up. Put your dangle on. Then put your closed jump ring on. And close. Oh, looks like my crimp, that wasn't crimped properly. So give me a couple of minutes to go and restring this. Alright, and I'll be back with you. So let's record doing this last bit together again. So this time I'm not going to crunch up, because I do believe that's what's just caused my problem. Right, because of having the extra beads in there, the dangles. So it's reasonably flexible enough without crunching it up. So crimp and crimp. And there we go. And I've still got a bit of long wire left. So as you can see, it's still flexible. So I believe that's where my problem lies. I'm so used to crunching it up that that's what happens. So back to where we were. Right. So a 5mm jump ring. Right, make sure I've got this the right way. Put on your jump ring. Put your dangle on, and then put on your closed 7mm jump ring. Right, and grab your other pliers. And give it a close the same way you open the jump ring. Making sure it's fully closed. As you heard there, that one actually clicked. And as you know, that's generally a fallacy that they always click. So, let me close this, let me zoom out a bit, and I will show you I'll show you this anklet. So look how beautiful that is with all the little dangles. Right, so cute and very, very evergreen, so you can wear it in the autumn just to bring a pop of colour to your life. Absolutely beautiful. So let me go and set up for the next bracelet that we got, because whereas I thought there was 5 anklets and only 2 bracelets, there's actually 2 more bracelets coming up, and then we're done. So I'll see you in a minute. This one is on the bone coloured Softflex, this is. Right. And it's nice blues and silvers. So put the crimp tube on. And put the clasp on. And this is going to have an extender chain and a dangle, this is. I'm going to use Rolo Chain as the extender chain. So nice chunky extender chain. So again, reasonable size loop, but not too big, not too small. Alright, make sure your wires aren't crossed. Alright, crunch down to 90 degrees and give it a crunch. Alright, give it a good tug. And cut. Right, there's a little bit of wire left over, so I'm going to cut that off. There we go. Now we're going to string this up. So we've got a silver spacer bead. Alright, just a little round spacer bead. Then we've got a light blue faceted rondelle. Right, another silver spacer bead. Right, then we've got a 2mm light blue round. Right, and the spacer beads in between every single bead. right? Then we've got this weird shaped bead. It's like a triangle, right? A triangle into a triangle. That's what it is, to me, anyway. Then we've got a fancy rondelle. Well, not sure actually. No, it's a hexagon bead. Sorry, I'm a little far up. That was a bit blurry. We've got a hexagon bead. Then we've got another one of those sort of 10mm rondelles. Then we have a 6mm round, faceted round. Then we have a 4mm rondelle in a baby blue. Then we have a 6mm light blue round. We have another 6mm light blue round. And another 6mm light blue round. Right. So this is the centre of your bracelet. This is those 3 beads. Right. So then going back the other way, you have you don't quite have this bit here, just these beads here. These beads here, because there wasn't enough room for these ones. Right. So you've got a chunky rondelle, a space on a chunky rondelle, the hexagon bead in the white, the funny triangle into a triangle, the little light blue 2mm round, and then to finish the 8mm, the 10mm rondelle. And that was done on fluorite Softflex wire, that was. So let's get a crimp tube. Oh, not that many crimp tubes. Don't need 4 for this. So let's put a crimp tube on. And pull it down. I always have excess wire. Always. Right, so let's crimp this. So crimp to 90 degrees, put in the front notch. If I can see it. And crimp again. Then cut off the short wire. Right. So now we're going to do our extender chain. And this is where you're going to need your memory wire cutters. And your tape measure again. So I'm going to cut 2 inches. So just there. Right. So put that aside, and we're going to do our wire wrap bead. Well, simple loop bead actually, to be very precise. Right, so the same way I've been doing it. Up, over, bottom to top, and then down. And wrap it down, loop it down to the bead. Roll it down to the bead. Open it up a little. Give it a cut. And then walk it closed. Give it a wiggle closed. So there we have it. Right, so now we're going to have a 7mm and a and a 5mm again, sorry, catching the camera as always. Let's find the opening. So we're going to put the 7mm on first, through the loop, and add the extender chain. Then close that. Sorry, that's meant to be in the centre. Get a bit fatigued now with all these pieces. Right, let's find the opening for this. There it is. I had it then. And open this one. Loop it through the last loop. Add on your dangle. And close. Making sure it's properly closed. My apologies. And another bracelet that's about 6.5 inches. So let me go and set up for the next one, which is going to be another bracelet, but it's going to be about 7.5 inches, and it's got beautiful butterfly dangles. It's also an asymmetrical bracelet. So I'll see you in a second. So this next one's on fluorite coloured beading wire as well. Right, and the dangles have also been wire wrapped. So let's put the crimp tube on and put the clasp on. Don't make the loop too big, just enough so that you can move it. Centre it, crimp down, put it in the front notch and crimp. Give it a tug, then cut the wire. So now, the next one, we got 9 little drops and 9 3 or 4mm rounds. So let me pull them all up so you can see what it looks like. So that's all these. So how cute are they? Let me show you what they look like just laid out. Look how cute are they. Right, so adorable. Right, then we've got a flat oval in green. Right, in between two silver spacer beads, we have this beautiful ceramic butterfly, right, on with a spacer bead either side, right, and then another green oval. Then again we've got the same thing, another butterfly, right, just a different coloured one. So these butterflies are so beautiful, right, and that repeats for 5 butterflies and 5 ovals in between them, but there isn't one on this end. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 butterflies, right, all sort of different types of butterflies, because we've got like a purple one on this end, we've got like a dark green one, a yellow and green one here, a yellow and green one here, and we've got like a black and yellow one here, right. Then on the end of this we've got 4 flower beads, right, that have got like an AB plating on one side. So you've got the AB and you've got sort of this jockle yellow. So they're the beautiful colours that we have in this bracelet. How fun is this bracelet? So fun, so sort of spring into summer. So I know it's a bit late, but it can really be worn any time of year if it makes you happy. Right, and that's all jewellery needs to be. It needs to make you happy. Right, so let's put on this clasp, and let's put on this jumping clasp. Let's get the right one, crimp tube, right, and make a loop. Right, so make sure your wires aren't crossed. Crimp down, turn 90 degrees and crimp again. And then cut off. So now we're going to cut some more chain. Cut another 2 inches of chain. Move them so I don't accidentally use them to cut with. And we want to cut that one there. There we go. Let's move that. Now we need to wire wrap this beautiful purple bead, because we need that angle for the end of the chain. So let's get our wire wrapping tools. Let's bend it over the bead. Up, over, turn and under. Roll down a bit. Give it a cut. And then move it in. and make sure that's right. There we go. Right, so now want 2 pairs of pliers. We're going to use a 7mm jump ring first. Again, as much of your pliers on as possible onto your jump ring. Oh, sorry. Right, through the loop. And add your chain on. And close the jump ring. Make sure it's very well closed. Then get your 5mm jump ring. Because I think putting a 6 or 7mm jump ring on for your clasp to go through gives people a lot easier time to put the clasp on. So through the end of the chain, put your dangle on. And then close the jump ring. So let me show you what this one looks like. Closed, and then I will show you them all. Oh, didn't quite close that. So here's this beautiful bracelet. Isn't it gorgeous? So this is our last one. Isn't it really, really pretty? Right. So we've got that one. Right. Then the second to last one that we did was this beautiful bracelet. Right, so if you want, give me a second. I'll tell you how long each of them are. So give me a second. So if you wish to purchase them, when I put them up on the website, you'll know exactly how long they are. So the one we've just done, the last one we just did, is 7.5 inches with a 2-inch extender chain. That's the one with the butterflies. Now this blue one is 7 inches with a 2-inch extender chain. Now we have these beautiful, beautiful anklets. Right. Absolutely gorgeous anklet, and I'll tell you how long that is. That is 10.5 inches. Then we have this beautiful bracelet, which is copper. Right. Tell you how long that is. That is 6 3/4 inches with a 2-inch extender chain. Then we have this beautiful anklet, right, which has one of the silver starfish on it. Right, let me tell you how long that is. That is 10 inches long. Then we have this beautiful anklet. Right, let me tell you how long that one is. That one's 10.5 inches. And we have this beautiful anklet, which is our first one that we made, which is with gunmetal. And let me tell you how long this one is. And this is 10.5 inches. So they're all the beautiful pieces of jewellery we've made in today's video. Right, if you would like to purchase any of these when I put them up on my website or Etsy, right, or you'd like to purchase a bead mix or a bead kit, please go to my website at klwgjewellery.com, all in lowercase and jewellery spelled the English way. So that's klwgjewellery.com. And my Etsy, the first 5 letters capitals, KLWG Jewellery, and that's jewellery the English way. Thank you for all your support that you've given me buying off my website and Etsy. I'm very grateful, but I will be grateful for your continuing support and help buying from there. Also, if you wish to buy from Softflex, also the links are also in the description for those. Also, if you wish to buy kits from Softflex, right, then there are links for kits in the description, and to get to Softflex's website. The website is softflexcompany.com. Their YouTube channel is at Softflex Company, and their Facebook page is Softflex Very Important Beading, and then in brackets and capital letters VIB Studio Group on Facebook. That is, and it is very welcoming group. And if you have a question about jewellery or jewellery making, please feel free to ask it in there, and they're sure to help you. Also, with each month's kit, they run a competition as well. So if you buy the kit, definitely enter. It's definitely worth it, because you get a chance to win next month's kit. So go for it. It's definitely worth it. So, but you have to enter with that month's kits, and with a few items from your staff, but predominantly the kits. So thank you for watching today. If you could please if you loved or liked this video, please comment, as I love chatting to every single one of you. Please subscribe if you're not already subscribed, as it costs nothing and it helps the channel out a lot. Please share, as that also helps the channel. Also, please hit the notification bell, as that helps you. So I'll see you again in my next video. Bye for now. Break it down.